Yesterday, I came home from a run, wet, tired, and Juju was on the phone with a friend. And when I came in, Juju said, Ben wants an open relationship. And I thought, oh no, what did I say? And she gave me the phone. So I'm on the spot going, that's not what I said. I'll get to what I said later. But Penny says to me, your girlfriend is perfect. How could you want anything more? That's not normal. And that's why that's why I'm here to talk to you about sex and love and cheating and open relationships. So Penny had no idea what I actually said, but she was right about one thing. My girlfriend Juju is amazing. She's the best. She's my best friend. She's my lover. She's my life coach. She's my teammate. And we've spent every day together for the last 2 years. That's crazy. Every day I look at her, especially if she's doing something weird like picking her nose or snoring, and I think I'm the luckiest guy in the world. But on the phone, what Penny heard is something is wrong. Ben is not content, something is wrong with Ben, something is wrong with their relationship. In perfect relationships, neither person wants anything or anyone else. Why would they? And that's where this journey begins. Please like and subscribe so I can... So before I start, I have to give a few disclaimers. Disclaimer number 1 is that I think there's no such thing as a bad conversation. The most important thing in a relationship is communication. Sometimes communicating is hard, sometimes it's painful, but painful conversations always bring you closer together. And the more honest you can be, the better. I would much rather be hated for a little while for the truth than loved for a lie. I feel so whole and so vulnerable and so connected when I can be completely honest. Disclaimer number 2 is that I'm a man. Everything that I say is going to be from my man perspective, but I feel like there's so much misunderstanding, especially about sex and love and cheating and open relationships, that hopefully just by being honest and not trying to blame anybody, I can provide a little bit of perspective and maybe help other people to understand why we kind of do what we do. So with that out of the way, my experience is that everything we believe as a society about relationships was at one point written in a shitty magazine. And I see these magazines when I'm standing at the grocery store to check out. And there's always an article about cheating. 10 signs your partner is cheating. 1. Improved appearance. 2. Less or more or different sex. Not one of those 10 is communicate with your partner and ask. Another one I think is amazing is the real reasons men cheat. 1. His father was a cheater. 2. He wants to exert his power. It's so much blame. I don't know why we are so obsessed with cheating, but I guess it's because we keep doing it and nobody can figure out why. This type of information about why people cheat has shaped the status quo. Cheaters are bad people with problems and you should avoid them. If your partner wants something else, wants something on the side, that's a problem that you need to fix. So then an interesting question is, how many people cheat? So I tried to look it up. If you don't like facts or research, you can just skip to the end, but I'm gonna drop some numbers on you. So basically, every study shows that men cheat more than women. According to brides.com, 13% of women in relationships admit to cheating and 20% of men in relationships admit to cheating. My ex-girlfriend's grandma has the philosophy that men all cheat. Sex researcher Eric Anderson took 120 college students and interviewed them and discovered that about 100 of them had cheated. When he interviewed these 120 college students, 80% claimed that they loved their partner and were happy in their relationship and that they wanted to stay in the relationship. What? That's crazy, right? 80% of these cheating men are happy in their relationships and want to stay with their partner. According to Psychology Today, 54% of men who are married and have been unfaithful claim that their marriage is happy. 54% of men who cheat claim that their marriage is happy. What? And so this radical proposition that I want to make is that so many men cheat because it's easier to apologize for a mistake than it is to say, sometimes I want to fuck somebody else. And that's what I said. Sorry, Juju. I didn't say, I'm going to do it. I said, this is something that's on my mind. Is this normal? Can we talk about it? Do other people feel this way? And Penny clearly believes that other people do not feel this way. But I think that a lot of people do. And I think that we make lives really, really difficult for ourselves by pretending that it's not the truth. So I'm attacking this idea, this status quo that people only want someone else because something is wrong. People want stuff for all sorts of reasons, even for no reason. People are complex. But what's even crazier is that society has taught us that if you talk about it, or God forbid, you do anything about it, there's something wrong with your relationship. Or even worse, if your partner does something about their attraction to other people, it's because there's something wrong with you. And that idea stabs us in our worst insecurities and stops the conversation right there. That's the status quo that I want to attack. The idea that the only reason your partner would talk or do or be attracted to other people is because there's something wrong with your relationship or because there's something wrong with you. People are more complicated than that. Obviously, you live your life the way it works best for you, but I want to be able to say the things that are on my mind and really be vulnerably honest with the person I love and want to spend my entire life with. So I pissed her off, but then we managed to actually have a lot of valuable and interesting and intimate and vulnerable conversation because I said something that was difficult. And so since saying this to Juju, it's now this like discussion point, you know? And because Juju loves to fucking tell people about the stupid things that I say, then we also got to talk with a lot of other people about it. And we were also pretty surprised about how unconventional and unmonogamous, I would say, a lot of our friends' relationships actually are. Now, I asked if I could interview them, and of course, nobody wants to go on camera and say, actually, we have an arrangement where we have sex with other people sometimes, which is interesting because lots of people are doing it, but everybody knows that it's not something that you want your face associated with. And I actually thought about that as well. I was like, what if my boss sees this video? Am I going to get fired for telling the truth about saying to my girlfriend that I sometimes fantasize about things that I shouldn't fantasize about according to the rules of normal relationships? And like I said, I would rather be hated for who I am than loved for who I'm not. So here's some interviews of me trying to squeeze some juicy information out of my friends. Enjoy. All right. Are there any taboo topics in your relationship?
So I'm nervous, Ben. What are we talking about here? Thank you. We had really good communication. Even if there was something that wasn't easy to talk about, we could definitely bring it up if it needed to be. I think the only thing that I felt like maybe I wouldn't talk about though is how I really didn't like her dad that much.
Okay. Are there any taboo topics in your relationship?
Taboo topics. I mean, with my relationship I have right now, that sounds like I will have another one in future. I hope not. Really, no, we can talk about everything and it's really open and no, she's like my best friend and this is how it should supposed to be.
You know, Will Smith and Jada Smith, they have like an open relationship
Oh,
where once
wow.
a year they...
Oh, wow.
You have any
Oh, wow.
sneaky relationship thing like this?
I would say that my biggest sneaky relationship is with my VR, yeah, virtual reality. You know what I'm talking about. XXX. And yeah, I have my ladies out there, you know. Oh, the IKEA story. I have a better story.
Okay.
I have a better story than the IKEA story. I found out actually, like kind of like because of my experience I did, I call it the 369 rule. After you date a lady, yes? After 3 months, the lady will step up to you and do the classic Q&A. The question about the status quo. We are hanging out now since 3 months, everything is going well and we have great sex, we have great dates. What is it all about? He will be like, oh yes, let's keep it like this. I'm not ready for that yet. And now the 6 is coming. After 6 months, the Q&A will come again. If you, as a man, have not that confidence to answer these questions right, are in trouble for sure. The only excuses you can bring up now, oh, I stepped out of a relationship, I'm not ready yet, bullshit excuses you bring up to try to still to fuck other girls. After 9 months, I'm telling you, after 9 months, the Q&A session looks totally different. She will have a gun, you know, putting one bullet and like rolling it. Excuse me, my boy. Q&A session part 3 after 9 months. There are only 2 questions you can drop or answer. Either you say, welcome to a relationship, or run for your life.
Are there any taboo topics, things that are difficult to talk about in your relationship?
In my relationships, for me, what I find difficult is the question of, are you seeing other people? But like if someone asks me this, I think I'd have a problem with it, or like a difficulty in relating or like answering honestly, because I think the other person might hurt. I think I might hurt their feelings because I'm seeing someone else and they feel a certain way about me. But I think that's a me problem, because if someone asks, they want to know. So I think I need to learn how to say it if someone asks.
Do you think that being attracted to other people or cheating is a symptom of a bad relationship?
I actually don't think so, because I find it's also really selfish of one person to actually expect this other person they are with to tick every box in their life. So let's say for me, I like running, I like raving, I have like a lot of friends, I have all these things, and then I want the person I'm with to do all these things with me. It's actually unfair to them, because let's say they have what they like doing and they're not doing it. So like I think as human beings, we're social and we can actually like different people in different ways. But then I think it needs to be discussed then. So it's not cheating, but like if let's say people are in an open relationship, in an open situation, it needs to be discussed how you want to have that. Because I think I'm also attracted to different people in different ways. And depending on what you want from the person who you said, okay, I'm in a relationship with you, let's try this. So are we being monogamous? Are we being polygamous? Are we being all these other forms of misms?
Do you have any any tips for communicating about difficult things?
No.
Why do you think people cheat?
Why do I think people cheat? It's interesting, I was just reading a book about this or listening to an audiobook. It's hard to differentiate between male and female, but if you do, you look at males and they generally have wild nature in the sense of wanting to be with multiple partners. I don't know if that sounds too much like a generalization, but I at least believe that to be true. In many relationships, like people don't actually give that the merit that they ought to, or at least just accept or realize that you're going to be attracted to somebody else. And so they kind of like bottle up their emotions, and then I think eventually it just kind of builds up too much and you're living in a relationship that's not really serving you, and you find that you're torn between trying to meet the needs of the relationship that you thought you wanted and then actually needing to fulfill your actual needs and recognize them and validate them. And I don't think people have to cheat. I'm not promoting that people should cheat, but I think it happens because people don't recognize their actual needs and desires and kind of split within themselves this image of what their relationship should be and hide something that maybe is more true to who they really are. So I think people would cheat much less if they were just more in tune with their desires. No beer for you. No beer for you.
Why do you think people cheat? Do you ever cheat on your boyfriend?